Shamanettes, and welcome to the Beauty Shaman. Today we are doing 5 steps to brighten sallow skin. Okay, so for starters, you want to use a really good C Serum. I'm putting on an 80% transdermal C Serum from Truth Treatments that really brightens up and nourishes your skin. Vitamin C is one of the best things you can do to brighten your complexion. All right, now I'm putting on foundation. This is actually a sheer foundation. It's Ben 9 Matte HD foundation that I thin out a little bit with a solution in order to have it not be super dense or thick. It's important that older women use a sheer foundation or a medium coverage foundation, not a full coverage. Here is one of the big tricks for having a beautiful bright complexion with sallow skin is to use a skin tint that is blue. You can put it on before you put your makeup on, foundation on, or after. It's up to you. I'm doing it after in the video because I really wanted to make it more around her eye area to really brighten up her cheekbones and eye. Very easy to apply. You don't see it once it's on, but it does counteract the yellow and it brightens your complexion. This is why you use a foundation that matches your skin and don't try to change the color of your skin. You change it with the tint. Now we're on to concealer. So we're using NW10, it's a MAC concealer. It has a slightly peachy tone because she has a little bit of red around her eyes. See my other videos for more information about what concealer works best for you. Now I'm using this and tapping it in with my finger. I like to use my fingers to warm the product as it goes into the skin so it blends nicely. I put it all over her lid because she doesn't have oily lids, so it's not going to crease in fine lines. If you have oily lids, I do recommend using an eye base. A little further on, I do use an eye base on her eye as well. I don't know why. Now I'm touching up a little bit of some skin demarcations, a little bit of redness using the concealer. And as you can see, I just tap it in. I put it on and I tap it. Don't rub, just tap, just lightly cover those demarcations. All right, this is Ben Nye Fair powder. So this has actually got a little bit of a tint, a little bit of a rosy tint to it because I don't want to use anything with yellow on it because we're trying to counteract the yellow. So this has a little bit of pink in it. Here I apply the eye base. Not sure why I made this choice, but I did. It does help your eyeshadow to stay on longer, that's for sure. All right, I'm filling in her eyebrows now. So I'm using a blonde eyeshadow because I want it to look very, very natural. We're gonna do a stronger lip on her. So I need her eyebrows to be more strong than they are now, but I want them to look very soft and natural. So I'm using an eyeshadow with a thin brush. I didn't put it on the screen, but that's brush 226 by MAC. Please see down below for full links and details of what I used. And then I measure just to be sure I'm bringing it far enough up, down her face. So I'm using a little bit of contour. She has kind of a thin face, as most of us do. So many of you don't need contour, but I am applying it just because I want her skin to get that little bit of redness that the contour color has in it. And I'm using it under her chin, as you can see. This is one of my favorite brushes, the Merit Brush number 1, just to buff it in. Don't bring it too close into your mouth or your nose, the contour that is. Be sure you just keep it under your cheekbones. Otherwise it looks like dirt and it looks weird. This really helps to shade her jawline, which is one of her areas of concern. I am going to use some bronzer on Laura because, again, I'm really trying to warm up her skin in a lovely way with a little bit of red. So bronzer automatically has a bit more red to it. And so I think this just really adds a lovely shaping to her face, as well as making her skin have kind of a glowy, warm summer effect. So I'm using a stronger lipstick. This is called Jessica by Jane Iredale. I really think her best feature is her lips. She has the most incredible smile. And so I wanted this to be a stronger color than she would normally use. And she actually really loved it in the end, but it is a stronger color. But I think with her yellow skin, when you have yellow undertones, using rosy tones, oh, and this is point 3, using rosy toned lipstick, blush, sometimes even eyeshadow can really help to counteract the sallowness of skin. Look how beautiful that is. So I'm just putting a little lip liner. I'm doing the lip liner after I put her lipstick on because I want the line to be very, very soft and natural. If you do the liner first, sometimes it can just look a little too harsh on mature skin. I do like the lipstick to look very clean and natural and not have sharp edges, but I don't want it to bleed as well, so I am going to use lip liner. All right, I'm using a rosy toned blush. Again, we're sticking with the rosy tones because of her sallow skin. It's a dusty rose, or a kind of a really browny rose, so not super strong because the main attention is on her lips. So I just want to add a little bit of color. Okay, I'm doing a Chanel waterproof liner in Marine, which is a deep blue. We could have done a warm brown, we could have done gray, but I've decided on blue. I think it looks really beautiful. So I put this right between her lashes, a very thin line. We're not going for anything thick. And I'm really being careful not to overdo it. And I am going to blend it in with a brush here in a minute. All right, this is my brush. It's a shader brush, number 239. And I'm just lightly running over the top of that. And what this does is it just softens that down a little bit. This is a very dense shade I have on her, very thick. And I wanted that because I want her to look a little more glamorous than normal, okay? You don't get your makeup done and want to look like you do every day. Okay, I'm going to use a Scene, it's called Scene by MAC, and I'm going to put this in the outer edge because she does have a little bit of a hooded lid. And I'm just really concentrating that in the outer edge. This is the brush 217. It's a really kind of great all-purpose brush by MAC. But see how I just really focus that on the outer edge, and that helps to open up her eye. Look at that. And this is a bit of a warmer color called Omega. So I'm just gonna warm up her crease. So this is kind of a blonde color actually, so it's not super yellow, but it does have kind of greeny blonde undertones to it. You could do this shade first and then the crease color, but I'm just doing it the opposite. I don't know why. So this is a lovely shiny color. As you all know, if you watch my channel, I love a little glitter. So I'm just gonna put a little glitter on her, and she likes glitter. She's a glitter girl, so this was really fun to put on her. And again, a rosy overtone to it. Beautiful. Bringing out those rosy tones, very important with sallow skin. Okay, here's some mascara, a little Beyond Lash from Jane Iredale. One of my favorite mascaras because it doesn't contain any formaldehyde. It doesn't contain formaldehyde or any other toxic ingredients. So it's wonderful and it stays on all day. I really love this mascara. I'm taking that same color I used in her crease and I'm just putting it underneath. Just because I think it's going to add a little bit more definition under her eye. All right, this is point number 5 to how to brighten sallow skin is get a rosy undertoned highlighter. Now, if you have a lot of yellow under your eye, I would say don't do this because it's going to make it look like mud, but she doesn't. She's got more of a purpley tone, so this is actually kind of nice. It highlights her skin beautifully, really bringing out the area under her eye and brightening her skin. Fabulous. Yes, thank you, Laura. You look fabulous.